I remember, I remember this really well. I was 20, sophomore in college, USC, and I had this conversation that helped me recognize that love wasn't just something that happens to us, but it's actually a choice that we're making, actively making. So I was sitting with this older and wiser friend who's now no longer with us, but we were at a coffee house in Los Angeles, and it was Valentine's Day, and we're watching the couples come in and settle around us, and I was feeling really pretty blue because I was recovering from my first real breakup, and I'd had a short string of unsuccessful dates. I'll tell you about those some other time. And I remember lamenting to this friend, his name was Lee, and I said to Lee, I said, it's just so hard to find that one special person. And I remember how he immediately shook his head, and he looked at me and he said, there isn't just one special person out there. We all have the capacity to fall in love with and stay loving so many people if we'd only just open ourselves up to it. That was a huge lesson for me that day. A life-shifting, life-altering lesson on how to look at the world. And life has proven it to me over and over that life isn't about finding one special person. I mean, some people do, some people don't. Some people want that, some people don't. Polyamorous people may choose to have more than one special person in their lives. The point is that we all have the capacity to love so many people. That's one reason we have communities like this one. Because it's good practice, not just tolerating, but actually loving the person sitting next to you, in front of you, behind you. And that's a choice we make. And it gives us skills to get more and more expansive with our love. But we have to open ourselves up to it. We have to risk the pain that comes from that vulnerability, but always we are empowered with that choice. And so I offer you a choice this Valentine's Day, and through the coming year ahead, make a choice to fall in love, to fall madly in love. It might be falling back in love with your spouse of several years. It might be to fall into friendly love with that friend you may have been taking a bit for granted, to fall in love with your children and grandchildren, your nephews and nieces. Fall in love with the world around you, with the trees and grass and seascapes, but also the dirty cities, the streets. To fall in love with people in general, with all their gifts and outrageousness and flaws. To fall in love with human failings and our capacity to fix them, some of them. To fall in love even with heartbreak and sorrow, and to see how it runs through all that is and all that ever will be. Because all of this invites us then to fall in love with life, with one another. Because when we do that, we also fall in love with our ability to take revolutionary action, to make change in order to cherish and protect one another. This is our choice to surrender, to fall, to be in love, and thus to become love.